Are you sitting down? You might want to, because what I'm about to share with you could very well save your life. It involves something you probably do every single day, thinking you're making a healthy choice. You buy it at your local grocery store, you wash it, you slice it, you put it in your morning oatmeal or your afternoon smoothie. It's sweet, it's natural, it comes from the earth. It's fruit. And yet, for seniors, some of these seemingly innocent fruits are silent assassins, ticking time bombs nestled right in your fruit bowl, slowly, methodically, and relentlessly damaging the one organ you cannot live without, your heart. You've been told your entire life to eat more fruit. An apple a day keeps the doctor away, they say. But what if I told you that some of these healthy choices are actually paving the way for a future of high blood pressure, hardened arteries, and even a catastrophic cardiac event? What if the very thing you believe is protecting your heart is in fact betraying it? There are 7 fruits in particular that I am begging my senior patients to stop eating. And the last one on my list, number 7, is the one that shocks them the most. It's a fruit that is almost universally praised as a superfood, yet I've seen it contribute to more heart-related issues in my older patients than almost any other food item. Stay with me, because what you don't know about these fruits could have devastating consequences. For those of you who are new here, my name is Dr. James Howard. I'm not just a voice on the internet. I'm a medical doctor with over 35 years of experience on the front lines of health, specializing in internal medicine, cardiology, and geriatric care. For decades, I've dedicated my life to understanding the intricate machinery of the human body, especially as it ages. My mission here on Primage Health is simple: to give you the truth, the real, unvarnished, and often hidden truths that can empower you to take back control of your health. The information I share isn't based on fads or trends. It's forged from decades of clinical practice and seeing what truly works and what truly harms my patients. Before we dive into this critical list, I want to build our community of health advocates. Please take a moment to hit that like button to help this vital information reach more people who need it. And in the comments below, tell me where you're watching from. I love seeing how far this message of health travels, from Texas to Toronto, from California to the Carolinas. What time is it where you are? It's always inspiring to see our community active around the clock, united in our quest for a healthier life. Your engagement truly helps the channel, so thank you for that. Now, let's get to it. Grab a pen and paper because this is information you'll want to remember. We're starting with number 1. The first fruit on our list is one that many of you probably eat for breakfast. It's often dried, sprinkled on cereals, or baked into muffins. I'm talking about grapes, and more specifically, the concentrated, sugary form they often take. Now, you might be thinking, Dr. Howard, grapes are full of antioxidants. And you're right, they contain resveratrol, a compound often praised for its heart benefits. But here is the dangerous paradox, especially for seniors. The sugar content in grapes, particularly when you eat a large bunch, is incredibly high. For your aging metabolism, which processes sugar less efficiently, a large serving of grapes is like a sugar bomb going off in your bloodstream. Here's the mechanism of damage. When you consume this rush of fructose, your blood sugar levels spike dramatically. Your pancreas then scrambles to release insulin to manage this surge. Over time, these constant spikes and crashes lead to insulin resistance, a precursor to type 2 diabetes. But the damage to your heart is more direct. Excess sugar in the blood is inflammatory. It's like pouring gasoline on a fire. This chronic inflammation irritates the delicate lining of your arteries, the endothelium. Think of it as constantly scraping the inside of a pipe with sandpaper. This damage creates rough patches where cholesterol, specifically the dangerous small dense LDL particles, can cling and begin to form plaque. This is atherosclerosis, the hardening and narrowing of your arteries. I remember a patient, a wonderful 68-year-old gentleman named Robert. He was a retired teacher, seemingly in healthy health. He was proud of his diet. He'd replaced his evening biscuits with a healthy bowl of grapes. He thought he was doing everything right, but his blood pressure was creeping up, and his inflammatory markers were high. We ran a coronary calcium scan, and the results were alarming. He had significant plaque buildup in his coronary arteries. The culprit? His nightly sugar bomb. That seemingly innocent bowl of grapes was contributing to a state of chronic inflammation that was silently hardening his arteries, putting him at a much higher risk for a heart attack.
So, what's the solution? Does this mean all grapes are forbidden? Not necessarily, but moderation is key, and the type matters. Instead of a large bowl of sweet, seedless grapes, I advise my patients to switch to a small handful of dark-skinned, seeded grapes, which have a higher concentration of beneficial compounds and less sugar. Even better, make the switch to berries. A cup of blueberries or raspberries has a fraction of the sugar, is packed with fiber which slows sugar absorption, and is overflowing with heart-protective anthocyanins. This simple swap reduces the sugar load, fights inflammation, and gives your heart the antioxidant support it truly needs. If this is making sense to you, hit that thumbs up. Let's move on to the second fruit you must be cautious of. This next one is a tropical delight. It's a symbol of sunshine and vacation. It's loaded with an enzyme called bromelain, which you might have heard is great for digestion and reducing inflammation. I'm talking about the pineapple. So how can this be on my list? The reason is twofold, and it's a perfect example of how a fruit's benefits can be completely overshadowed by its risks for a specific population, seniors. The first issue, much like grapes, is its incredibly high glycemic index. Fresh pineapple can spike your blood sugar almost as fast as white bread. But the second, more insidious danger for many seniors lies with that very enzyme, bromelain. While it can have anti-inflammatory properties, it also has a significant blood-thinning effect. It can inhibit blood platelet aggregation. Now, if you are one of the millions of seniors taking a prescribed blood thinner, like warfarin, Coumadin, Plavix, or even a daily aspirin, this is a recipe for disaster. Combining pineapple with these medications can amplify their effect to a dangerous degree. It's like taking your prescribed dose and then unknowingly adding another unmeasured dose on top of it. Let me tell you about Eleanor, a bright 72-year-old who loved her morning smoothies. She was on a low-dose blood thinner after a minor cardiovascular scare. One week, she decided to go on a health kick and started adding a hefty chunk of fresh pineapple to her smoothie every single day. One afternoon, she bumped her arm against a doorway, a minor impact she wouldn't normally even notice, but within an hour, a deep, dark, and alarming bruise spread across her entire forearm. She was bleeding internally. Her blood had become too thin, and her body's ability to form a simple clot was severely compromised. Her healthy pineapple habit had turned a tiny bump into a medical emergency. The bromelain had pushed her medication's effect into a danger zone. The practical solution here is crucial. If you are on any blood-thinning medication, you must be incredibly cautious with pineapple. A very small amount occasionally might be fine, but you should discuss it with your doctor. A much safer alternative for that tropical flavor and vitamin C boost is papaya. Papaya contains the enzyme papain, which aids digestion, but does not have the same potent blood-thinning effects as bromelain. It's also lower on the glycemic index. Swapping pineapple for papaya in your smoothie gives you that sweet, tropical taste without the risky anticoagulant interaction. It's a simple change that respects your body's specific medical needs. Are you finding this information helpful? Let me know in the comments if you've ever been warned about this before. Now for number 3. Number 3. This is a fruit that is practically an American icon. It's in pies, sauces, and you probably have a glass of its juice with your breakfast. The orange. A powerhouse of vitamin C, right? Absolutely. But the form in which most seniors consume it is the problem. I'm not talking about eating a whole orange, which contains fiber to buffer the sugar. I'm talking about orange juice. When you drink a glass of orange juice, you are consuming the squeezed sugar of 4 to 5 oranges in a matter of seconds, with none of the beneficial fiber. It's a tidal wave of fructose hitting your liver. Your liver is the primary organ responsible for metabolizing fructose. When it's overwhelmed by a massive, rapid influx, like that from a glass of juice, it has no choice but to convert that excess sugar into fat. Specifically, it creates triglycerides. These triglycerides are then packaged into VLDL particles, very low-density lipoprotein, and sent into your bloodstream. High triglycerides are a major risk factor for heart disease. They contribute directly to atherosclerosis, that hardening of the arteries we discussed. Furthermore, this process in the liver can lead to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, or NAFD, which itself is a massive independent risk factor for cardiovascular disease. You think you're drinking something healthy, but you're actually manufacturing heart-clogging fats inside your own body.
I had a patient, David, a 65-year-old who had just retired. He was diagnosed with pre-diabetes and was trying to clean up his act. He cut out sodas and sweet tea and replaced them with a large glass of 100% pure, not-from-concentrate orange juice every morning. He thought it was the epitome of a healthy swap. 6 months later, his blood work came back worse. His triglyceride levels had shot through the roof, and an ultrasound confirmed he now had a fatty liver. He was baffled. "But doctor," he said, "I've been drinking the healthy juice." He didn't realize that his healthy habit was actually accelerating his path toward heart disease. The juice was the poison. The solution is beautifully simple. Eat the orange. Don't drink it. By eating the whole fruit, you consume the fiber in the pith and membranes. This fiber is a biological braking system. It slows down the absorption of sugar, preventing that overwhelming spike. It makes you feel full, so you're unlikely to eat the equivalent of 5 oranges in one sitting. And it feeds your good gut bacteria, which has a whole host of benefits for your overall health, including reducing inflammation. So, ditch the carton of juice and enjoy a whole beautiful orange instead. Your liver and your heart will thank you for it. If you've been a juice drinker, this is a wake-up call. Please hit that subscribe button so you don't miss more truths like this. Let's move to number 4. The fourth fruit is a summer favorite. It's juicy, it's hydrating, and it evokes images of picnics and family gatherings. Watermelon. It's over 90% water, so how could it possibly be a problem? It's often recommended for hydration. However, despite its high water content, the sugar in watermelon has an incredibly high glycemic index, often higher than table sugar. This means it is absorbed into your bloodstream with shocking speed. For a senior whose glucose management system is already less robust, a large slice of watermelon can send blood sugar levels soaring. While a single spike might not seem terrible, it's the cumulative effect. These repeated spikes in blood sugar contribute to glycation. Glycation is a process where sugar molecules attach themselves to proteins and fats, forming harmful compounds called advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. Think of this as a form of biological caramelization. These AGEs are particularly damaging to collagen and elastin, the proteins that keep your blood vessels flexible and strong. They make your arteries stiff and brittle, a condition called arteriosclerosis, which is a direct driver of high blood pressure and heart failure. I recall a patient named Maria, 70, who was a diabetic but managed it well through diet. During the summer months, however, her blood sugar readings would become erratic and consistently high, and her blood pressure would follow suit. She was eating what she considered light summer meals, often a large wedge of watermelon for lunch. She thought that because it was mostly water, it was a safe, low-calorie choice. She didn't realize that she was effectively eating a sugar salad. The glycation process spurred by these daily spikes was stiffening her arteries, forcing her heart to pump harder against inflexible pipes. We had to explain that the healthy watermelon was actively working against her cardiovascular health. So, what do you reach for when you want something refreshing and hydrating? My top recommendation is cucumber. Yes, technically, it's a fruit. Cucumbers are equally hydrating, incredibly low in sugar, and have virtually no impact on your blood sugar. They also contain silica, which is beneficial for connective tissue health. Another fantastic option is cantaloupe or honeydew melon, but in strict moderation. They have a lower glycemic index than watermelon. If you must have watermelon, treat it like a dessert, a very small, controlled portion, and always pair it with a source of protein or healthy fat, like a handful of walnuts, to slow down that sugar absorption. This isn't about deprivation, it's about being smarter than the sugar. We are now at number 5, This one is often found in trail mixes and is lauded as a great source of energy. I'm talking about dried fruits in general, but specifically I want to call out dried apricots and raisins. They are marketed as a healthy, fiber-rich snack, but the process of drying fruit is a process of concentration. It concentrates the nutrients, yes, but it also dangerously concentrates the sugar. A small box of raisins can have the same amount of sugar as a can of soda. Furthermore, many dried fruits have preservatives added to maintain their color.
Sulfites can be a major problem for many individuals, causing allergic reactions that can range from hives to asthma attacks. For someone with a compromised cardiovascular system, any systemic allergic or inflammatory reaction puts additional stress on the heart. But the bigger issue is the potassium content. Now, you've been told potassium is good for your heart, and it is. It helps counterbalance sodium and maintain healthy blood pressure. However, for a growing number of seniors with compromised kidney function, which often goes hand in hand with heart disease, this is a hidden danger. Your kidneys are responsible for filtering excess potassium from your blood. When they aren't working at 100%, consuming high potassium foods like dried apricots can lead to hyperkalemia, a condition of dangerously high potassium levels in the blood. This is not a theoretical risk. I had a patient, Frank, 75, with stage 3 chronic kidney disease, a common condition in seniors with long-standing high blood pressure. He started eating a bag of dried apricots every day, believing the potassium would help his blood pressure. One evening, he started feeling weak, nauseous, and experienced palpitations. His heart rhythm was becoming erratic. His wife called for an ambulance. In the ER, his EKG was alarming. His blood test revealed a critically high potassium level. He was on the verge of a fatal cardiac arrhythmia. His healthy snack had created a medical emergency by overwhelming his already weakened kidneys. He had no idea. If your kidney function is perfect, a small amount of dried fruit might be okay. But why take the risk with the concentrated sugar? A far superior snack is a small handful of raw, unsalted nuts like almonds or walnuts. They're packed with healthy fats, protein, and fiber, which stabilize blood sugar and are incredibly heart-healthy. They provide a satisfying crunch and lasting energy without the sugar bomb or the potassium risk for those with kidney issues. If you have any level of kidney impairment, you must speak with your doctor about your potassium intake. It's a prime example of how one person's medicine can be another's poison. All right, we are at number 6, and this one might be the most controversial yet, besides our final reveal. It's a fruit that is the darling of the health food world. It's creamy, delicious, and packed with healthy fats. I'm talking about the avocado. Now, before you click away in disbelief, hear me out. For 95% of people, avocados are a fantastic food for heart health. But there is a critical exception that applies to millions of seniors. Similar to pineapple, but for a different reason, avocados can interfere with the effectiveness of the blood-thinning medication warfarin or Coumadin. The mechanism here is vitamin K. Avocados are moderately high in vitamin K. The medication warfarin works by blocking the action of vitamin K, which is essential for forming blood clots. The dose of warfarin you are prescribed is carefully calibrated by your doctor based on your regular diet and your blood's clotting time, measured by a test called INR. If you suddenly start eating a lot of avocados, you are introducing a significant amount of vitamin K into your system. This vitamin K directly counteracts the effect of the warfarin. Your medication essentially stops working as well as it should. Your blood becomes thicker and more prone to clotting than your doctor intends. This is a silent danger. You don't feel it happening. I had a patient, Susan, a lovely 78-year-old woman who was on warfarin for atrial fibrillation to prevent a stroke. Her INR levels had been stable for years. Then her daughter, a health enthusiast, got her hooked on avocado toast for breakfast. She was eating a whole avocado every day. At her next routine blood test, her INR had plummeted into the subtherapeutic dangerous range. She was no longer protected from forming a stroke-causing clot in her heart. Her superfood breakfast had silently sabotaged her life-saving medication, putting her at an immense risk of a devastating stroke. She had no idea. What's the solution? It's not necessarily to ban avocados completely. The key is consistency. If you are on warfarin, you need to maintain a consistent intake of vitamin K. If you want to eat avocados, you must discuss it with your doctor. You might need to eat a small, measured amount consistently every day so your warfarin dose can be adjusted accordingly and remain stable. Sudden changes are the enemy. A safer alternative for a creamy, healthy, fat-rich food that is low in vitamin K is to use pureed cannellini beans or even high-quality olive oil as a base for spreads and dressings. The most important lesson here is this: if you are on warfarin, any significant dietary change, even a healthy one, must be discussed with your doctor. It could save your life.
And now we have arrived at number 7. The one I warned you about at the beginning. The fruit that is most praised, most recommended, and, in my clinical experience, one of the most misunderstood and potentially damaging for seniors when consumed incorrectly. This fruit is a true master of disguise, wearing a halo of health while hiding a dagger aimed at your heart. It's a fruit you've been told to eat every single day. The final fruit I am begging you to stop eating, or at least dramatically reconsider, is the banana. Dr. Howard, you can't be serious. Bananas are the best source of potassium. Yes, and that is precisely the problem. We touched on this with dried apricots, but it is a far more common issue with bananas because people eat them so frequently. As we age, a silent decline in kidney function is incredibly common. It's a normal part of the aging process for many. It's estimated that up to half of people over the age of 75 have some level of chronic kidney disease, and most don't even know it. When your kidneys cannot effectively filter potassium out of your blood, eating a large banana every day can be like loading a gun. The potassium level in your blood can slowly, insidiously, creep up into the danger zone of hyperkalemia. High potassium doesn't just cause palpitations. It can directly interfere with the electrical signaling in your heart muscle, leading to a slowing of the heart rate and, in the worst-case scenario, full cardiac arrest. Your heart can literally just stop beating. The signs are subtle at first: fatigue, weakness, a tingling sensation. Most people would just brush it off as part of getting older. They keep eating their daily banana, thinking they are doing their heart good, while they are actually pushing it closer to a catastrophic electrical failure. But this story doesn't have to end in tragedy. It can be a story of triumph. Let me tell you about George. George was 79 when he came to see me. He was a shadow of his former self. He was constantly exhausted, felt weak, and his doctors had told him his heart was tiring out. His ejection fraction was low, and he was on a cocktail of medications. He was a textbook case of a senior in slow decline. And every morning, like clockwork, he ate a large banana with his oatmeal because a nutritionist had told him years ago that the potassium was essential for his heart. I took one look at his blood work and saw the red flag. His kidney function was at about 50% of normal, not terrible, but significantly impaired, and his potassium level was consistently at the very top end of the normal range, sometimes tipping over. I explained to him my theory. The healthy banana was overloading his system. It was keeping his body in a state of low-grade hyperkalemia, which was contributing to his profound fatigue and putting a constant electrical strain on his already weak heart. He was skeptical, but he was also desperate. He agreed to my experiment. We replaced the banana. In its place, I had him add a scoop of ground flaxseed and a handful of walnuts to his oatmeal. This gave him fiber and healthy omega-3 fats, which are powerfully anti-inflammatory.
For a potassium source that was less concentrated, we focused on smaller portions of things like cooked spinach or tomatoes spread throughout the day. The change wasn't overnight, but week by week, something remarkable happened. After about a month, he reported feeling a spark he hadn't felt in years. After 3 months, his blood work confirmed it. His potassium levels had settled comfortably into the mid-normal range. His blood pressure improved. But the most incredible part was his heart. We did a follow-up echocardiogram 6 months after he stopped the daily banana. His heart's ejection fraction, its pumping power, had improved by 10%. His cardiologist was stunned. George got his life back. He started walking in the park again. He could play with his grandchildren without feeling exhausted. He broke free from the prison of fatigue that he thought was just an inevitable part of aging. His story is the ultimate proof that the healthy choice isn't always the right choice for your body right now. George's story is why I make these videos. Helping you understand these hidden dangers, these paradoxes of health, is my life's mission. It's not about scaring you. It's about empowering you with knowledge so you can make the best decisions for your unique health journey. The human body is a complex system, and as we age, we have to treat it with the wisdom and respect it deserves. What works for a 30-year-old may not work for a 70-year-old. The key takeaway from all of this is that fruit isn't evil. It's that you must be an active, educated participant in your own health. Question everything. Understand why you are eating something. And most importantly, listen to your body and work with a doctor who understands the specific needs of seniors. The power to reclaim your vitality is in your hands. If you found this information valuable, if it opened your eyes to something new, then my work here is done. But our journey together doesn't have to end here. Please take a moment to click that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. I release videos like this every week filled with practical, life-saving information designed specifically for you. My goal on Prime Age Health is to be your trusted partner for a long, healthy, and vibrant life. And don't stop now. The algorithm has selected another one of my videos for you to watch next. It's packed with more secrets to help you thrive in your prime. Click on it now, and let's continue this journey to optimal health together. Thank you for your time and your trust. Be well and be wise.